Hi guys, welcome to day 9 of the 12 days of yoga with Kat. I'm so excited that you are here and joining us, and whether this is your first video or you've done all 9, awesome job taking care of yourself today. I hope you enjoy this practice. Today we are working up to dancer pose for the 9 ladies dancing in the 12 days of Christmas. So you're going to need a strap maybe, or a scarf, and blocks as well if you have them. If not, grab some books. And let's begin. Let's find a child's pose. Bring those big toes together, knees apart. If that's not a great place for you to start your practice today, please feel free to find a comfortable space. I had a pretty epic ice skating accident yesterday, so I'm going to modify as necessary. So please listen to your bodies as well. As you land in this child's pose, big toes are together, yeah. Those knees maybe are a little bit wider than normal. And the fingertips are reaching towards the top of your mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale it out, soften through the shoulders, the hips, the head. Slowing down, allowing yourself to land in this space, in this moment. Scan through the body. Notice how it feels today before we begin to move, because each time you get on your mat, it's going to feel a little bit different, or in my case today, a lot different. And as we listen without judgment, we can give our bodies what they need instead of what we think they need, right? Take a big full breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Drawing your attention towards your mind and how you're feeling today. Especially if you're doing this challenge with us, we are working towards the holidays. So just notice how you are, how you've been moving through this day already. No judgment. Maybe you've been doing awesome today and you feel like high-fiving yourself. And then again, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, begin to find your first downward facing dog. Tuck those toes, lift the hips high to the sky. Melt the chest back and down, spreading the fingers wide, and check in with what's happening along the back sides of the legs. Woo-hoo. Relax the head, the neck, the shoulders. Maybe pedal this dog out as you bend one knee and then the other. Reminding yourself that this is your practice, right? So take whatever variations or modifications you need as we begin to move today. Let's inhale, roll forward, high plank. Press the ground away from you. Lift up through those belly buttons. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise high up onto the tippy toes. Begin to make your way up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. As you inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Drop that head. Inhale, rise and reach, tall mountain. Sweep the hands to the sky. Press the hips forward. Exhale, forward fold. Empty out all of that breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And let's find a right runner's lunge. So slide the left foot to the back of your mat, reaching the heart and eyes forward. Lengthen out through the spine. Engage through the feet, the legs, the belly, so that the hands can be a little bit lighter on the mat today. Noticing that length in the back leg. As you inhale, modified crescent. Sweep the hands to the sky. Belly pulls in. Arms lift. So we're going to take a few circles here. Take the arms back and up. Back and up. Last one, back and up. And let's move into our split prep. Hands to the earth or blocks as you start to shift your weight back on top of that left knee. Always a great place for a blanket if your knee's uncomfortable on the earth. And then find length in the spine as you send the tailbone back and the top of the head towards the top of that right foot. Slow down your breath, right? Our inhale is going to bring us forward into an active runner's lunge. Step up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up tall, mountain. Bringing those hands behind the back. So here's a great place for your strap if you can't interlace your fingers. Press down, open up through your heart. Press your hips forward, lift up through your belly. Lengthening chest towards the ceiling, breathe in. Belly button to the spine. Exhale, begin to fold. Let those arms start to come overhead, knees can bend. Top of the head gets heavy to the ground. And then just scan through the body. Notice the sensations that are happening. What sort of movement maybe do you need to take or breath do you need to take to soften it a little bit deeper here? Last one. Gently release that hold. Take an inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Moving into that left runner's lunge. So slide your right foot to the back of your mat. Heart and eyes reach forward as the left knee stacks on top of that ankle. Legs are strong, hands are light. Lengthen as you take the back knee down. So instead of pulling it in, lengthen. Inhale, excuse me, modified crescent, hands lift up to the sky. Shoulders down. So we're going to take the circles in the other direction this time. Take them to the front. Inhale, bring them back. To the front, belly button lifts. Last one. And shifting back into that split prep. Finding a place to land. Noticing how this side compares to the other. Now we're going to shift forward into a runner's lunge this time and land in a plank. So however you'd like to get there, I'm going to press into my hands, lift that left foot, finding plank or modified plank. Pushing the ground away from you, breathing big. Then as you exhale, lower down, chaturanga, pull the elbows in tight to the body. Lower all the way to your belly. Finding a cobra back bend, press into the tops of the feet, peel your chest off of the mat. Hands are light. Lengthening through the belly, maybe even trying to lift your belly button away from the ground. And then exhale, lower down, little shift in the hips. Next back bend here is going to be a variation of locust or shalabhasana pose. Bringing the hands by the sides. Maybe interlacing the fingers behind the back or grabbing your strap, right? So we're still opening up through those shoulders to work towards that dancer pose. Again, press into the tops of the feet, lift up through the belly, begin to peel your chest off of the ground. So lengthen the back of the neck, energy through the body, breath. Exhale, lower down, little shift in the hips. And we'll press our way back up to a downward facing dog. You might like it pressing through a child's pose for a breath or two. and landing in that downward facing dog. Big full breath in and out. Inhale, right leg to the sky, parallel 3 points. Squeeze those inner thighs towards one another. Press through those heels. Exhale, cheetah nose to knee. Inhale, parallel 3 point. One more. Exhale, cheetah nose to knee. Stay, breathe. Runner's lunge, foot between the hands. So if you needed to swing it back and come back through, totally okay, no judgment. We're going to start to revolve from here. Left hand down, right hand to the sky. Reach chest forward. Lengthen through those legs. Squeeze inner thighs towards one another. Exhale, top hand down. So here's another great place for blocks. We're just going to begin to straighten our front leg and you'll be in a very wide-legged hamstring stretch. So feet are pretty still far apart. That back heel may not be on the earth. Lengthen the top of the head towards the top of that right foot. Check in with yourself. Check in with your breath. This is starting to get into a little bit of balance here. So fastening that belly button tight to the spine will help with that. Inhale brings you forward into a runner's lunge. Back knee comes down. We're moving into a quad stretch. So if you like, you can take the twisted variation, flexing that heel towards the palm. I'm reaching back with my right hand. If I can't quite grab a hold, this is still a deep stretch. So just breathe into this length into the quad here. If you grab a hold, maybe grab the ankle, flex the foot, pulling the heel towards the palm. Take a deep breath in, out of the mouth. Right? We're not going to be here forever. So choose how you react in this space, in this place of discomfort, right? Choose that reaction. Acknowledge the emotions, the thoughts that show up, and just shift them if they're not for you, right? It's a practice. All right, gang, we're going to gently release that foot to the ground. Don't let it slingshot. Shifting forward towards the top of our mat, grounded airplane. Hands to the earth or blocks. Exhale, nose to knee. So you're pulling that left knee in towards your nose and landing in that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Bringing the hands to the low back, fingers up or down, whatever works in your wrist flexibility today. Let me slide that microphone over. I hope I don't mess it up. So you're going to press your hip bones forward. Lift up through that belly. There's a slight tilt of the pelvis. And then begin to peel the heart towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are today. Slide those elbows towards one another. Breathe. And then inhale brings us back up to stand. Gently release that hold. A little bit of movement here. Inhale sweeps the hands to the sky. Whoopsies. Exhale, forward fold. Empty out the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And let's start to make our way back to a plank, choosing a chaturanga flow. We're skipping it, find downward facing dog. Any variation or modification in between for what's working best for you on your mat in this moment. Big breath in and out. Inhale, left leg to the sky, parallel 3 points. Squeeze inner thighs towards one another. Find that cheetah nose to knee. Pull up and in. Back to that 3 point. And then we're going again. So pull up and in. Hold here. Maybe find that runner's lunge. Foot between the hands. Lengthen out. Once you land, revolve. Right hand down. Left hand in the sky. Length and strength in all areas. Then we're going into that super wide-legged forward fold. So you're going to start to straighten the front leg. Keep the hips as square as possible, and then drop the top of the head towards the top of that foot. Inhale is going to begin to bring us forward into that runner's lunge. Back knee comes down, moving into your variation of this quad stretch. Take a bend in that knee. Maybe reach back. Maybe catch a bind. Gently release that hold. Stepping up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. So we're going to start to work on these variations of dancer. Go ahead and grab your strap. And you may need to use a wall as well. Totally awesome variations, right? Working towards better balance. Okay, so working from the ground up through your foundation, you have a lot of little stabilizer muscles in your feet. So we want to make sure that we're lifting up our arches and staying active on the inside of the feet so that the inside of the legs are nice and strong, as well as grounding down through the outer blades of the feet. So we're really rooting into the ground. For this first variation, you're just going to put your strap over your neck and pretend like I forgot to do this first part. Okay. All right. So you're going to open up your right hand to the side. Yeah. Left hand can be on your hip, a wall, or straight up to the sky. Squeeze in through those inner thighs, lift up through the belly, and then just lift that right foot off the ground. So play with what that feels like, that balance in your standing leg. Notice what happens in the foot. If you feel good, you're going to start to reach for the arch of that right foot. So you're reaching on the inside. Stay here. Press hips forward. Squeeze knees towards one another. And if you like to, you're going to start to kick that foot into the hand. Keep lifting up with the chest. You're going to lean forward a little bit, but instead of folding forward, keep lifting up, and then find that edge where you can breathe. And there's like some tension here. Belly button's lifting up towards the spine, lengthening through the crown of the head. Slowly come back in, working on that balance through transition. Pull. Slide that right knee up into the chest, squeeze, and let it go. A little shake. Yep, we got to do a little bit of dancing for ladies dancing. Move over to the other side when you're ready. So left hand comes out to the side. Right hand can be on your hip, a wall, or maybe it's reaching to the sky. Engage through your core before you begin to go, right? See what that balance is like. All those little stabilizer muscles are kicking into gear, and then you choose, yeah? It's not about getting there the fastest. It's about noticing what happens along the way. All right, kick, lengthen. Really, and if you're starting to feel like a crunchiness in the low back, keep scooping up through that belly. Coming back up, slow, slow. Belly button to spine. Hug that knee in. Oh, that's my ice skating knee. And let it go. So if that variation is new to you and you're still working on finding balance, please take that variation this next round. If you'd like to work towards King Dancer, then we're going to use our handy dandy scarf straps, yeah, or a regular strap if you have one. So what I'm going to work towards is that same balance. And definitely a good rule of thumb, if you start to lose your balance in this space, is to let go of the strap with your hands and not slingshot yourself backwards. Yeah, my husband's here, he's looking at me. Yeah, you got it? All right, so you're going to, like a little jump rope, you're just going to step over it. So now it's in between your legs and you don't have to worry about getting the hooking your foot behind you. So I'm going to step onto my left foot and then begin to lift up my right knee and catch my ankle here. So again, you can kind of see what that feels like, play with that transition there, and then we'll start to make sure you keep that foot flexed for a little bit so the strap doesn't slide, and we'll start to bring I needed a little more room on my strap, so assess that as you move. Start to bring the hands over the shoulders. Yeah, so this is where we begin this space. Engage through the core, lengthen up, and then maybe the elbows start to lift. And you can start to walk down your strap so that your hands get a little bit closer towards your foot. Now, if you get to a place where the low back is crunchy or you can't breathe, back out of it, right? It's not so much what the pose looks like on you today, it's what it feels like when you're doing it and how it makes you feel. So slowly start to let that strap slide out of the hands. Maybe bring them over to one side and gently remove it. How was that? That was fun, right? So shake it off. And we'll move over to the other side. So stepping over with that right foot. Finding that balance, that stability, that focus. Yeah, I didn't even talk about the gaze. So focusing on something that's not moving, finding that drishti. And then the hands start to come up. And then maybe you start to take it a little bit bigger. Before you go, I encourage you to reassess what's happening in that core so that you're not dumping into your low spine. Wow, that's a big heart opener, isn't it? Woo! You're doing it. Slowly come back down. Bring the stuff into one hand and gently remove it. Let go of that strap. Sweep those hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Let the knees bend. Grab peace fingers around your big toes. Hook on, and then slide the elbows out to the side. Breathing in stillness or finding a little bit of movement here. We're just going to get that low back to release. Gently releasing those toes, heel toe your feet back towards one another. One more inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, and we're just going to bend the knees, have a seat onto our mats, and go ahead and find your way all the way down to reclined position. Let your back settle. So maybe the feet are in that bridge preparation here. And just release the hips down into the ground. Release the shoulders down into the ground. Hugging the knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice squeeze. We're going to let the knees fall over to the left side. Opening the arms out wide. Maybe left hand can rest on top of that thigh. Find some softness here. Knees are beginning to move back through center, making any adjustments necessary. And start to head over to the other side. Land and release. Knees start to move back through center. And I'm going to give you an option for the next thing, but you don't have to take it. Closing out our practice today with an inversion, I'm going to set up legs up the wall, but feel free to take whatever inversion is working best for you today. So sliding those hips super close to the wall, and then just resting those legs up. Hands can go wherever they like. I'm going to take one hand to my heart, one hand to my belly. And just take a moment to find gratitude in this space. You know, gratitude that you decided to take care of yourself today. You chose to practice in this video. Gratitude for your physical body. Amazing things it does every single day. Gratitude for who you are and where you are in this journey. And feel free to stay in this space as long as you need to. It has been so freaking awesome doing these videos so far. It's been challenging. It's been a learning experience. But I am so grateful for all the love and support I have received since I started doing this. So thank you so much for taking care of yourself. Thank you so much for doing it with me. And namaste, friends. See you tomorrow.